The tapestry of life showcases nature's beauty and its capacity for brutality. We've seen predators stalk prey and natural disasters reshape landscapes. Yet certain acts by Homo sapiens stand apart in their chilling detachment from empathy. The justice system has witnessed heinous crimes, but few are as shocking as those involving individuals who have taken the lives of innocent infants. Even more disturbing are the rare cases in which these perpetrators show no remorse for their actions. This story delves into some of the most chilling cases of baby killers who displayed no guilt or sorrow in court, leaving judges, juries, and the public horrified. In the annals of American crime, the name Susan Smith is forever etched as a chilling example of maternal betrayal. In the fall of 1994, in Union, South Carolina, Susan Smith claimed a black man had carjacked her vehicle with her sons, 3-year-old Michael and 14-month-old Alex, still inside. The nation watched, captivated by the heart-wrenching pleas of a mother desperate to find her children. Sympathy poured in, a collective embrace of a parent facing unimaginable loss. Law enforcement launched a massive manhunt fueled by Smith's narrative. However, inconsistencies in Smith's story began to surface. 9 days after her initial report, Susan Smith confessed to a crime far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Driven by a desire to escape the perceived burdens of motherhood and secure the affections of a man who did not want children, Smith had driven her car, with Michael and Alex strapped inside, into the dark waters of John D. Long Lake. The nation, once united in sympathy, recoiled in horror. During her trial, Smith's demeanor became a point of contention. While she displayed moments of what appeared to be remorse, forensic psychologists observed a detachment in her affect. Her emotions seemed staged, rehearsed for the jury, rather than genuine expressions of guilt and sorrow. In the end, the court saw through Smith's facade. She was found guilty of 2 counts of murder and sentenced to life in prison. The quaint streets of West Valley City, Utah, masked a horrifying secret within a seemingly ordinary home. Megan Huntsman, a seemingly unremarkable woman, committed a series of unspeakable acts that would later shock the nation. Between 1996 and 2006, Huntsman gave birth to 6 infants, only to end their lives shortly after birth. Driven by panic and an inability to care for her children, Huntsman concealed their bodies in cardboard boxes in the garage. For years, Huntsman's dark secret remained hidden. In 2014, her estranged husband discovered a box containing the skeletal remains of an infant, bringing Huntsman's deeds to light. Investigators unearthed the remains of 6 infants, each a silent testament to a life tragically cut short. During her trial, Huntsman's demeanor was chilling in its detachment. She confessed to her crimes with a chilling matter-of-factness. Prosecutors argued that Huntsman's actions were premeditated, pointing to her repeated pregnancies and subsequent killings. In the end, the court found Megan Huntsman guilty of 6 counts of murder. She was sentenced to life in prison. The corridors of hospitals, often associated with healing and hope, can sometimes harbor a darkness that defies comprehension. In the 1970s and 80s, pediatric nurse Janine Jones cast a long shadow over the medical community in Texas. Jones, once hailed as a dedicated caregiver, became the subject of a chilling investigation. Her alleged weapon of choice lethal injections, administered under the guise of medical care. Jones's reign of terror began in the pediatric intensive care unit of Bexar County Hospital in San Antonio. A string of unexplained infant deaths and near-fatal emergencies began to raise alarm bells. Babies, seemingly stable, would suddenly crash, their tiny bodies racked by seizures and respiratory failure. Jones, always present during these crises, earned the admiration of colleagues and the trust of unsuspecting parents. However, beneath Jones's facade lurked a sinister motive. Investigators suspected she was deliberately inducing medical crises, injecting infants with lethal doses of drugs. The motive: a twisted desire for attention and a need to play the hero. Despite a growing mountain of circumstantial evidence proving Jones's guilt was daunting, many deaths occurred before sophisticated toxicology testing, making it difficult to establish a direct link. Hospital administrators, blinded by Jones's record, were initially hesitant to cooperate with investigators. In 1984, Jones was convicted of murder in the death of 15-month-old Chelsea McClellan and injury to a child in the case of Rolando Santos. She was sentenced to 99 years in prison. The case of Janine Jones remains a chilling reminder of the potential for evil to hide in plain sight. The neonatal unit, a sanctuary for the most fragile of lives, represents hope and the promise of a future yet to be written. Parents, entrusting their newborns to the care of dedicated medical professionals, believe their children will find safety and healing. However, the case of Lucy Letby, a neonatal nurse who terrorized the Countess of Chester Hospital in the UK, shattered this illusion. Lucy Letby, a seemingly unremarkable figure, blended seamlessly into the neonatal unit. Described by colleagues as quiet and unassuming, she was seen as a dedicated caregiver. Yet, beneath this veneer of normalcy lurked a darkness that would leave an indelible stain on the hearts of families. Between 2015 and 2016, a string of unexplained deaths and near-fatal incidents plagued the neonatal unit. Babies born prematurely would suddenly deteriorate, their tiny bodies succumbing to unexplained collapses. As the death toll rose, a chilling pattern emerged. Letby was the only common denominator in each case. She was present, often alone, when the infants collapsed. Suspicions grew among the hospital staff. In 2018, after a meticulous investigation, Lucy Letby was arrested. She was charged with the murder of 7 infants and the attempted murder of 10 others. The prosecution presented a case that sent shockwaves through the nation. Letby, they argued, was a calculating predator, driven by a twisted desire for attention and control. Letby maintained her innocence, her demeanor a chilling mix of detachment and defiance. However, the evidence against her was overwhelming. In August 2023, Lucy Letby was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to a whole life order. The case of Lucy Letby stands as a stark reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. In the annals of crime, cases involving the murder of a child by their own parent stand as particularly abhorrent acts. The case of Elena Lobacheva, a young woman from Russia, shocked the nation for the brutality of her crime and her chilling lack of remorse. Lobacheva, dubbed the monster mother by the media, became synonymous with the darkest depths of human cruelty. In a drunken rage, fueled by alcohol and resentment, Lobacheva turned on her infant son Vladislav, subjecting him to unimaginable abuse. Neighbors, alerted by the sounds of a commotion, contacted the authorities. What they discovered was a scene of unimaginable horror. The apartment, in disarray, bore witness to the violence that had unfolded. At the center lay the lifeless body of Vladislav. Lobacheva, apprehended at the scene, displayed no remorse. Her demeanor was one of chilling indifference. She spoke of her crime with a detached calmness. During her trial, Lobacheva's behavior became increasingly erratic. She showed no signs of remorse, often smiling and smirking at the jury. Psychiatrists painted a picture of a deeply disturbed individual. In the end, the court found Elena Lobacheva guilty of murder and sentenced her to life in prison. Her case stands as a chilling reminder of the darkest corners of human nature. The cases we've explored force us to confront an unsettling truth. Within the vast spectrum of human behavior, there exists a chilling void, a space where empathy and remorse are absent. The question that often arises is, how can a person commit such heinous acts without showing guilt? Forensic psychologists suggest several factors: psychopathy, sociopathy, narcissism, mental illness, and pathological detachment. In cases where the killer shows no remorse, the impact on the victims' families and the public is profound. The pain of loss is magnified by the knowledge that the perpetrator feels no guilt. The sense of justice can feel incomplete when faced with such profound indifference. These cases remind us of the darkest corners of human nature and the importance of justice for the innocent lives lost. The courts may deliver verdicts, but the emotional scars left on families and communities remain forever. The victims, forever silenced, live on in the memories of those who loved them. And as we grapple with the aftermath of these tragedies, we are left with a haunting question. How do we, as a society, confront the darkness that resides within our midst?